Can you share any of it with us? I mean, what have you uncovered? Have you uncovered anything else as you've been sifting through all of this?
Well, as a matter of fact, as I came into the office today, our investigators were working late last night, and there are a couple interesting emails. One was November 14, 2016, right after the election, where Lisa Page texts Strzok and says, "God, being here makes me angry. Lots of highfalutin national security talk. Meanwhile, we have our task ahead of us." Now, our is capitalized. I mean, are they talking about implementing their plan? So that's in November. And then on May 19th, again, we've got a big gap, 5-month gap, and now the texts begin again. This is 2 days after Mueller was just appointed special counsel. Strzok writes, they're talking back and forth about their futures, the FBI and the recent appointment in Mueller. They're talking about, what they ought to do. And it indicates that they're considering joining that Mueller special counsel investigation. Strzok says, quote, "You and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, I'd be there, no question. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern there's no big there.
Wow.
In other words, Peter Strzok, who was the FBI Deputy Assistant Director of the Counterintelligence Division, the man who had a plan to do something because he just couldn't abide Donald Trump being president, is saying that in his gut sense is that there's no big there when it comes to the Mueller special counsel investigation. Doesn't know that he really wants to join that because his gut sense is there's no big there.
Wow.
I think that's kind of jaw-dropping.
I would say that's jaw-dropping. I would say that's pretty huge. This is a guy who, as you suggest, sort of knew the insides of all this, and boy, that's really something. I'm not quite sure how to react to that. Could you just read?
The correct reaction is we need to see the 5 months of missing texts, because who knows? Again, these are texts between two people holding an extramarital affair, and they're completely unguarded in their communication. And so we're getting an insight to exactly what's happening inside the FBI at the highest levels. And who knows who else they may implicate in terms of corruption.
And could you read again the passage? What Peter Strzok's message there was a couple of days after it's announced Mueller's going to put together this team?
Again, they're wondering. We think they're probably considering whether or not they want to join that team. And Strzok says, "Quote: You and I both know the odds are nothing. If I thought it was likely, I'd be there, no question. I hesitate in part because of my gut sense and concern. There's no big there."
That seems to be him clearly suggesting there's no reason we should be chasing down this whole Trump-Russia collusion thing.
And look at what this nation's been put through as a result.
Yeah.
Okay? We have serious problems. And here you've got a member of the FBI wanting to implement a plan, and in his gut, there's probably nothing there. Well, so let's do it anyway.
And then there's again the earlier reference to our plan. This connects with something that you got in the first batch of emails, a suggestion that there had to be some sort of backup plan to deal with a President Trump or a Trump presidency.
Yeah, this is smoke. You can't really connect it 100%. That's why we need to see more of these texts. But again, meanwhile, we have our task ahead of us. Mm-hmm. This is 6 days after the election. We have our task, capitalized our task ahead of us. These are the same two they're talking about. They've got a plan.
Well, there was also some vague reference, and I don't, you don't want to read too much into this one, but they were referencing a secret society, and no one really knows how serious that is. What is that? Some drinking club after work? But you also have to get more texts and more emails to put more of this in context,
and possibly more texts and emails from more than just two people.
Yeah. Wow, well, that's really something. And so you have now, if we had President Obama still in office and Loretta Lynch is the head of this DOJ, there's no way we would ever find this material. We'd never see this text. We'd never go anywhere.
Yeah, we would not have these texts yet.
No, you wouldn't even have the text yet.
If we would have ever gotten them.
No, I
think that's part of the corruption we're talking about within the higher levels, the FBI, possibly the Department of Justice. It's just hard to tell.
Yeah.
But obviously these are partisans, hard partisans in these agencies, and they're carrying out a political agenda, it looks like to me.
Yeah, and it speaks to the need of a house cleaning already But with Jeff Sessions in charge now, there's a better possibility that we are going to be able to launch a legitimate effort to find more information, find some of these lost texts and emails. The other thing about Strzok and Page, they seem to be texting and emailing across several platforms. They're using several phones. They're using several email accounts.
And they are purposely, it seems like, evading, putting some of these work-related messages on a platform that is untraceable.
Right.
I mean, there's indications that they were going to communicate things that couldn't be traced. So they're probably, again, that they can't do that. That's just not proper. This is my committee's